Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Key Slow, and I'm back for another fucking banger. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're new around here, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. I appreciate you for taking the time out your day today to just watch my video. You could be doing anything else, but you right here watching my video. So I really appreciate it. I'm deeply grateful for it. And make sure if you have any questions or anything, any comments or anything to say about Spirit or anything with these airlines, make sure you leave it down in the comments below. We're going to just react to this little video talking about it's not just Spirit. These budget airlines are burning cash, putting low-cost fares at risk. So basically, to dumb it down, they getting rid of all budget flights. They getting rid of Spirit. They trying to get rid of Frontier. They trying to get rid of, some shit with the JetBlue. They trying to get rid of, like, cheap flights. Like, so they basically, they trying to make this shit harder for people that don't got money for real to travel. They about to create it to where you gotta be elite to travel. You gotta have some money. You gotta be rich to travel. You gotta be up in that upper echelon of people to travel. I guess they starting to, it's just sparking this whole thing that I think the government gonna start realizing, like, hold on, why are we just letting anybody onto these planes? Or not even just the government, but just these plane companies themselves. They like, we could be making a shitload of money if we just block out them lower people and make it to only where the rich people. The rich people ain't gonna have to be around the broke people. And second of all, they take control. That's how they take control. I don't know completely the full story yet, but we're about to get into it. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I know I'm yapping this shit, but I'm gonna get on here.
Fuel crisis was the straw that broke Spirit Airlines back. But other budget airlines are also struggling to be profitable and losing market share, a potential warning for cost-conscious travelers, aviation experts tell Forbes. Low-cost carriers, including Allegiant, Frontier, JetBlue, Southwest, Spirit, and Sun Country, combined for 35.5% of market share in February, down from 38.2%
all the lower budget planes,
according to Cirium data. Spirit flew 1.7 million passengers in February, a 24% year-over-year drop per Cirium. Spirit Airlines CEO Dave Davis, in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, stated that, quote, "Everybody is burning cash. We just had a smaller pile to start with." He added that other airlines, quote, "are not that far behind us in the race," suggesting that Spirit is not the only airline struggling financially.
Man.
Transportation.
Comment below if you ever took a Spirit flight. They not bad and they never crashed. Every other airline has had a crash. Spirit has never had a fatal crash in their whole history. Why the fuck are they taking away Spirit? What the fuck? Like, I understand the bread probably not matching how much people getting on there is already cheap at that. But still, why they couldn't just sell a couple of their planes and just operate out of different states? Why couldn't they do that? Why couldn't they just operate out of Florida where their main base is? Why they can't just do that? But I think, possibly in the near future, Spirit going, they going to have to take their losses. They going to have to stop the company for a little while. They got to liquidate all their assets, which is all their planes and their little parts of their business or whatever. Sell that and have, they probably going to have to be in the red for a little bit. They probably going to start back up, but they going to have probably tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to just sit on while they work on becoming profitable. So that's where they at right now. I'm sure the CEO has a plan. He probably gonna go bankrupt. Bankrupt does not mean you don't have no money. That just means like a lot of your assets and all that shit, it wipes the slate clean, like credit and all that shit. And then you can file different chapters of bankruptcy and you can keep certain things. You can keep mortgages, you can keep the planes, you can keep all types of little shit. So hopefully this is just a temporary thing, because if not, like, that's kind of scary. A lot of these companies it's going to start costing $500 to go to the next state flying, just to go to the state under you or the state above you or next to you. That shit going to start costing a lot more money. Just food for thought. They only want the rich flying. Imagine they start a new global pandemic, or they start a new pandemic in the United States or some shit, create a purge or some shit. All the rich people get to fly out. All the poor people got to stay here because they couldn't afford flights. Think about that shit.
Secretary
Think
Sean
about it.
Duffy on Saturday told reporters he opposed a government rescue for low-cost airlines seeking $2.5 billion in relief from high jet fuel prices,
That
noting
too.
that carriers
Gas
have access
hella
to
high right
cash
now.
and calling the government, quote, a lender of last resort. Jet fuel was $4.13.
The government don't want to help them.
Friday on
They don't want poor
Marcus
people
US
flying.
Jet fuel index up 65% since the U.S. and Israel launched initial airstrikes against Iran more than 9 weeks ago. If not for surging fuel costs, Spirit's plan to exit its second bankruptcy.
Them niggas, the U.S. is just burning through bread, gas, all of this other shit, and they making the citizens pay for it. They raising everything, and everybody just forced to have to level up. If not, you get stuck at the fucking bottom. That's where the fuck we at as a country right now. That shit fucked up. It really is, but that's how this world works. So if you don't got no money, today is your sign to go get you a fucking bag. Go get you some money. Go run up, go start a business. Save up your money from your job and start a business or invest or something. Figure something out, bro, because I'm telling you, a couple years from now, if it could be even be 100 years from now, at some point it's going the wealth gap is gonna be crazy. Rich people gonna be up here, poor people gonna be down here. Only the rich people could access certain shit, and only the poor people could access certain shit. And you just gotta pay attention to the shit behind what they just telling you. For real, you gotta look at the signs of the shit for real.
In less than a year would have worked, Davis told the Wall Street Journal. But industry experts say fuel prices were simply the final nail in Spirit's coffin. Savani Sith, an aviation analyst at Raymond James, says the collapse of Spirit Airlines was due to a confluence of factors. She attributed the demise not to a single cause, but to a combination of exogenous events alongside industry shifts and ill-advised management decisions. The government had been in advanced talks to rescue Spirit for $500 million in exchange for the right to take a 90% stake in the airline, but Spirit's creditors...
You hear this shit? This is how the government win. These companies, they in the red, right? The government over here talking about, I give you 500 million, which ain't shit for real. Like, when you really look at the grand scheme of things as a fucking airline, 500 million for 90% of your fucking company. Basically, the government owns your fucking company at that point for $500 million. They say, hell no. Fuck no. That's somebody who ain't sell they soul. 500 million for my company, my nigga.
Objected to government negotiators insisting on being paid back first. While Spirit's demise may be seen as a warning sign, especially for budget airlines, some see an opportunity to grow. On Monday morning, JetBlue announced an expansion that includes 11 new destinations from Fort Lauderdale.
And that's what I was saying. That's where Spirit's largest hub at. Now, here comes JetBlue. Oh, we'll take that spot. Yeah, give me that. Come here. Like, what the fuck, dude?
National Airport, Spirit's largest hub. For more on this story, check out the article at the link in the description.
I made this video because I wanted to open your eyes up to the signs of what the fuck is going on in the world right now, and to where, you know, we are as a country. And, you know, this is a sad reality. Like, they're raising the prices of everything. They making everything harder for the people that's at the bottom, so it's easier for the people at the top. It's all a capitalist, like, America is a capitalist country. We capitalize off everything, off eating, drinking, living, off fucking air. If they could bag up some fucking air and sell it, Americans would do it. The government would do it. They would be like, oh, you're required to sniff this bag of fucking air or you're going to get locked up. They could do it. This is why you need to get your passports. Maybe even get some other citizenships in other countries, and get rich. That's all. That's the moral of the story. You gotta get rich, man. Gotta get rich. They not leaving shit for the poor folks, man. They really not. They gonna make it to where the rich is eating and the poor goddamn gotta keep scraping. That's how they keep workers. That's how they keep, you know, crime rates the way they are, so that certain areas can be fine and not have certain people in them areas and shit. Like, it's a whole game behind this shit, and somebody's calling the shots, bro. So I just want to leave y'all with that food for thought. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, I highly advise that you subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I can make more content like this. Y'all just leave things down in the comments. If not, I'll find some more interesting subjects and I'll talk about them. I'll give my take on them and y'all can give y'all take on it. Appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all having a great fucking day. I appreciate